Hi folks, not the sort of video I normally make, but the job it needs doing anyway. So go and grab yourself a cup of tea, as I have just done, and join me for a little bit of workshop maintenance. So welcome back to the channel, folks. I noticed the other day when I was lubing this chain that it seemed a little bit too slack. In fact, the last time I saw something that slack was one of my first teenage girlfriends in high school. But we won't go there. But you see what I mean? So I've come out with my wooden ruler and measured it. Now the handbook says on this bike the slack should be between 20 and 30 millimeters. This is touching 40 millimeters. So what I do is to rest the top of the ruler just on the top of the chain here. Always do it with the bottom side of the chain like this, because you never get the true tension from the top side, and then just push it up. You can see it's even about 45 millimeters. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but take my word for it. So that's way too slack. I'd also noticed it when I was riding this bike yesterday as well, which reminded me that I must address this little problem. It's not a problem, it's just a little bit of maintenance. So the bike's not due for its next service until next January. So I'm pleased I sort of found that the bike, in my opinion, actually rides differently. And I've detected it before on my other bikes, which have chains. And it's a very simple process. 99% of bikers know how to do this, but the 1% who don't might be interested in just how to do this. I mean, obviously, it's slightly different for every bike. And if you look at your handbook for your bike first as well, but you can take away pretty much the same idea of what I'm doing here today. Okay, let's get started. As you can see here, I've put the kickstand, well, I've raised it up a little bit. There's a little fly on that little bit of scrap plywood there. There's no flies on me. No, definitely not. It's on the scrap plywood. I don't have a center stand. I wouldn't want one on this bike. So just raise the bike up a little bit. It does make it a little bit easier, obviously, because the chain is on this side. Now, if you've got the crash protectors on your spindle, obviously they just loosen off at both sides, as I have just done. And they just slot out like that. And you will need a 27mm socket to go around the nut here if you've got a Triumph Street Triple 765 RS. Obviously, this is all bike specific stuff. Okay, another little trick, especially if you're my age, to protect the knees, put a bit of cloth down on the floor. My missus is into the horses, so I take all of her old numbness, the stuff which sits underneath a horse saddle, just for when I'm kneeling down doing this sort of stuff in my garage. Okay, so you'll need a torque wrench set as well, because obviously you've got to torque everything back up to the manufacturer's specs. Maybe you don't need something as big as this, but this is all I've got. Oh gee, it's always the same with me, isn't it? There we go. Now, I never take the nut completely off. I just slacken it, because I like to keep everything sort of in its place. But I think that's slackened enough. We'll be able to adjust the little bolts on the inside now, because the wheel will move with that. Okay, next step. And by the way, as you know, I'm sure, it's always the last spanner in the tin. Okay, here we go. So just slacken them off. And the horse agrees that you've got to slacken them off as well. These are not tensioned, so once you've unstuck them, you can get your fingers in there just to freely move them back. Again, they're just the locking nuts, so give them a good little bit of travel as well. Something like that, and the same on the other side. Now, another little top tip here is to get yourself a black marker pen and mark the bolt face nearest you, because if you get distracted when you're within this process and you lose the run of how many twists and turns you've done on the adjuster bolts. Believe me, you do not want that to happen. Ask me how I know. Okay, now time for the magic. The same spanner will do what you loosened off the lock nuts with. That should do for the adjusting bolts. So I tend not to do too much at a time. Small increments is always best, and then the same on the other side. Don't do everything on one side and then go to the other side. Keep flitting between the two sides. Bit of a pain, but it'll keep that back wheel level. So I tend to loosen the adjuster bolt by half a turn at a time, and because you've marked it with your black marker pen, you'll know exactly what half a turn is. And the same on the other side. Can't remember if I did say that anti-clockwise tightens your chain, clockwise slackens it off. So obviously I need to go anti-clockwise, which is what I've just done there. You only need the tiniest of turns, by the way, to make a big difference within the tension. So that's sitting on the top of the chain there now. Well, that's too tight. Look at that. There's only 20 mil travel there. I'm going to roll the bike back a little bit and again check another part of the chain. Similar to what you did when you were checking the initial tension. It's very important when you're doing any sort of workshop thing like this to put the tongue out as well when you're concentrating. Makes for a much better job. I've noticed that on videos I've done in the past. I've actually scrapped videos because of it. Yeah, now I know you can't see that there, but the slack is only 20 mil, which is within the limits of what Triumph say for this chain, but I don't want to be bang on the lower limit. I want to be somewhere in between. So I'm actually going to slacken the chain off a bit now by going clockwise again. So I'll do that little job and then we should be there. It's a very simple process, this. It's just, if you don't know how to do it, that's the reason I'm making the video. No excuses now. So you can still see my black mark there on the bolt. So I'm just going to slacken the chain off by turning it clockwise by quarter of a turn. Just like that. And again, the same on the other side. Check again, and I would have thought we're bang on the money there. Absolutely. 25 mil. You can see on the bottom layer of the chain there, just watch the bottom, and that's tensioned at exactly 25 mil, which is exactly halfway in between the manufacturer's guidelines, between 20 and 30 mil. So time to lock everything up. Now another little top tip for when you're tightening everything up, you're going to need two spanners. You're going to need to keep one on the adjustable bolt because that will tend to turn a little bit as you do the final tightening of the adjustable lock nuts. And as you've just seen there, the tiniest little turn makes a huge difference to the tension in the chain. So basically lock your adjustable bolt into place using this spanner and then start tightening everything up. And again, it will need to be tensioned, or torqued rather, to 15 Newton meters. There you go. So that's 110 Newton meters of torque. Let's do one final check on the chain just to make sure everything is still in place. Perfect. Okay, and that's it, folks. A simple 10-minute exercise, something we should all be aware of. It's as important to me as checking your tire pressures. If this has inspired you to go and check your chain tension, maybe we could call it a chain reaction. And the jokes don't get any better. Thanks a million for tuning in. I'll be back on YouTube next Saturday, 8 a.m. as usual. Dave Perry, Willie Good TV, over and out.